Back on TYT. I need a new intro. Screw that. Welcome to TYT Sports. J.R. Jackson alongside me once again to talk some National Football League. The Super Bowl odds have been out for a little bit of time, and they do change. They fluctuate as suspensions happen. The big breaking news in the NFL, a little bit random, a little bit of a tangent. Le'Veon Bell will not be suspended 4 games, will be suspended 3 games.
Oh, that changes everything.
That appeal should have brought it down. Makes the Steelers maybe a little more threatening if Le'Veon Bell can stay on the field. But we're going to talk about the Super Bowl odds because the Steelers are always going to be in the running as one of the teams that get a lot of money placed on them given their rich history of winning Super Bowls. But we're going to start with the bottom half because what kind of tease would we be if we didn't do that? Here's the bottom half of the Super Bowl odds because if you want to, the land has a basketball championship, but the land does not have a National Football Championship, and, or at least in a long, long time. And Robert Griffin III hooked up with Terrell Pryor for a 50-yard touchdown in preseason. Lay 20,000 on 200 to 1 odds.
Oh, Terrell Pryor. Hey, man, I love it,
I believe
man.
the Ohio State University?
Yes, just because of that. You know, they're going to bring in Maurice Claret, too.
All right, out of all these teams here, JR, the one team who you can possibly, just possibly see sneaking their way into a Super Bowl, the love for the Jaguars, it's not that it's not warranted, but I don't see why there'd be more love for a Jaguars over even a Jets, a Bills. I'm looking at coaching for a lot of this.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the Titans could be disastrous, but Mariota maybe takes a major jump, and they go 8-8.
And look, and they brought in
Darrell Green,
from the running back from Dallas. No,
DeMarco.
Dallas, DeMarco. I mean, come on, there's always a chance.
Always a chance.
When your record's 0-0.
Everyone's got a chance. We discussed this clip. I think you were here with me with this. The NFL being the most unpredictable sport left in America. Next year, we went through it all. Next year, we know it's the Warriors and the Cavs in the finals, save for maybe one other team. We know in baseball that the Giants, because it's an even year, are going to win the World Series. I'm sorry to say that. And we know hockey also a little bit unpredictable. But the NFL, you cannot pinpoint one team and say, I know for a fact that one of these two teams is going to win the Super Bowl.
Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. You know who was in the middle of that list of the bottom of the barrel for odds?
The Los Angeles Rams?
The Los Angeles football Rams.
You're a
come
Rams
back
fan,
home. Right? Oh man, I've been a Rams
fan
since I was 4 years old.
Now you have a better reason.
No, I've had reason my entire life.
They followed you.
They followed me.
Wow.
I started here.
Wow.
Started from the bottom as they are now. At 4 years old, man, I was a big Eric Dickerson fan.
That's fair.
Absolutely. The reason I don't like Jim Rome is because Jim Everett kicked his ass.
That's fair too.
I mean, come on. So anyway, I left, moved to St. Louis. Guess who moved after me? The thing is, the love affair is that the Rams have it with me, not the other way around.
They're playing in your Coliseum.
Guess where I live?
Los Angeles.
I live in Inglewood, California.
Not
only that, they're playing in my Coliseum. As you guys know, I'm a Trojan. Then they're going to follow me to Inglewood and play in the stadium they're building over there. I mean, come on. How much closer can a team get to one person in his entire life?
So they should just pick you up to play defensive end?
What
would you play? You play one position.
They should pick me up just to sit in the front row of the stands, sit in the luxury box because that's what I deserve.
One position you could play. What would it be?
Like if I was a better athlete?
Yeah, if you could play, would you be?
When I thought I could play football, I thought I was a pretty good wide receiver, but. You know, I'm only 6 feet tall.
Man,
you have to be 6'5" to be a great wide receiver,
legal
right?
To grab that hair.
So maybe corner, since I'd be a decent-sized corner. 6 foot, 215, right?
That'd be fun.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
At 6 foot, 215, maybe they want you to play safety because I wouldn't be as quick as those short 5'7" corners. But then again, they can't compete with tall receivers. Come on.
I'd be the world's first 158-pound offensive lineman, but nobody would ever get by me. It'd be shocking.
So just for the sake of it, so the Rams are in the middle of that. We'll see what the odds are again, but you know it's worth putting what $50 down to see what they get.
Why not? What happens? See, we got some Los Angeles Rams
inspired by LA
in the studio. I don't think they're going to make it even into the playoffs. Jeff Fisher screams 7-9, as Deadspin's Drew McGarry put it. Top half of that list, Ja'Cory. Let's see it. All right, so this is where it gets a little more interesting because there's a lot of love for certain teams. The Vikings, I think, have climbed all the way up the ladder. A lot of love for Teddy Bridgewater. He can throw the ball downfield. We know the guys like Stephon Diggs could be a deep wide receiver threat. They have this guy named Adrian Peterson.
The Vikings are the quietest division-winning team of last year.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why they get not a lot of love in the first place, because you have to play in the same division as Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. But on paper, their teams aren't that dissimilar in terms of talent position for position, right? The Vikings have a better defense than the Packers do. That's for sure. Teddy Bridgewater is not Aaron Rodgers. That we know. If we can go back to that list, though, because, I mean, what world would it be without the New England Patriots as the favorites to win?
Absolutely.
Are we getting bored of that, Jacory? Boston native. The Cardinals, with Bruce Arians, their defense, a healthy Carson Palmer, a still effective Larry Fitzgerald.
As much as I love Carson Palmer, he's running out of time. It's got to happen.
Well, no, okay, I actually disagree with that because you're running out of time. You can protect the quarterback, though. You can't touch the quarterback. You're not allowed to. Penalty. It's a penalty. You touch the quarterback, it's a penalty. There's other teams on there. What about a healthy Tony Romo and Des Bryant? I'm looking at this strictly from the offensive end, which I think is actually the worst way to look at this because last year the Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl, and they did it with a tremendous defense. I don't have any backing for this, as we were talking before the show, and I don't know why I'm going to say it. I have a feeling that the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl. I don't know why. I know Aaron Rodgers is a tremendous quarterback who threw 2 of the greatest Hail Mary passes I've ever seen in my life. Maybe God is on his side. I think he's going to try to put this Jordan Rodgers debacle behind him with the Bachelor or Bachelorette. I always get them confused. But something tells me that it's Aaron Rodgers going to bounce back for an MVP season, which is pretty much, even his bad season last year was like MVP-esque season, and really command that offense. And I think, and actually here's why I came to this conclusion. Mike McCarthy and Tom Coughlin are very similar coaches. Eli Manning bought Tom Coughlin a few extra years of coaching when he won the 2007 Super Bowl. Not Eli Manning, but the Giants won the 2007 Super Bowl. Then Eli Manning did it again. The New York Giants did it again to buy Coughlin 4 more years. No Super Bowl that year. Coughlin's on the hot seat all year long. They back into the playoffs and they win. Can't fire a coach after they win the Super Bowl. It's insane. Right? Mike McCarthy is in this exact same situation.
Because he's got a team that everyone, as you're saying, is expecting to win every year, or at least has a position to win every year, and they just haven't
They go
looked
9-7,
way,
10-6.
right? So, I mean, this other one of the perennials that you would assume are going to be in there. Again, I don't know if this is just because I haven't heard it. Maybe I'm missing it. But the Carolina Panthers were in the Super Bowl last year, and many thought would win the game.
With the help, with a good defense still returning.
A great defense,
Luke
right?
Kuechly still returning.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, Cam Newton was your MVP last year. They were undefeated for most of the season. So
that's why they were number 3 or 4 in that list.
Probably about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't believe in the Panthers again, but I think another team that we're discrediting all too often are the teams with better defense. The Cardinals and the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Defense tends to win championships. So my pick for the Super Bowl being the Packers is not based at all about that. Therefore, what the hell do I know?
So, Super Bowl matchup. I'm going Seahawks from the will be representing the National Football Conference.
Good pick.
I'm so over the same
The
AFC
Bengals?
picks. You know what? Again, another team that continues to show these flashes of brilliance. So, I like that. We'll go Bengals Seahawks just because that's a good random-ass pick.
Are you going to watch that Super Bowl?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely will watch
I'll always
that
watch
Super
the
Bowl.
Super Bowl. I thought one of the best
matchup.
tweets from the hashtag ridiculous NFL predictions that was trending the other day was the Buffalo Bills and the Minnesota Vikings will meet in the Super Bowl, and as is tradition, both will lose. Other NFL predictions that I saw, ridiculous hashtag NFL predictions, was Johnny Manziel and Josh Gordon will combine for 20 touchdowns in 2016. On the Cleveland Browns. The Believe Land Browns will make it to the Super Bowl. No, those things are not going to happen.
I am rooting for RG3 to at least have
a
decent season.
I am too. I like Robert Griffin III.
A prove himself season.
For the land, LeBron James coming in at tight end, they might have a shot. Comment below, who is going to win the 2016-2017 Super Bowl 51? Adele will not be performing at halftime. Get Kanye to perform at halftime. That's what we want. It's for the people. Or Frank Ocean, then he just won't show up. See you next time.